For staying with the Daily Report, we're still with PS Susan Mangeni, the PS for MSME. Some questions here before we enter the home stretch. Hello, Zainabu. When can one start withdrawing the long-term savings PS?
Thank you. Is there any other question?
Okay. Oh, you want to take several?
Yeah.
Okay. There is. Good evening, George. Kindly ask Madam PS on the issue of loan limit. Like mine is 1,020 shillings since last year, and it has not grown. My name is Kelvin Otieno from Korogosho. Thank you, Kelvin. There is hi if BJ Consultants. Hi, if one wants to contact Hustler Fund, which numbers does one use? Thanks. Secondly, why is it difficult to access Hustler Fund's short-term savings? The message one gets every time one wants to access one's short-term savings is that there is an ongoing transaction. Kindly clarify. Thanks, Jashan.
Well,
you can take that for now.
Thank you, George. Since you are on Hustler Fund,
yes.
I wish we could go check your short-term saving and see if we can access it right now. You know, sometimes doing this thing practically helps us a lot.
Okay.
So you can dial *254# and go to savings, and then you tell us how you'll be able to access your short-term. Because what I want to assure the viewers is that short-term saving is easily accessible.
Short-term savings, option 2.
Yes.
Check balance. Or withdraw.
Withdraw.
Okay.
Are you on the saving?
I think I am. Let me check the balance.
You check the balance and see if you can withdraw.
Okay.
Yeah. Try to withdraw whichever one.
Right.
You know, it's good to see which message it will bring you there. But I'm confident that today we can access the short-term savings, and leave alone just accessing. You can also populate your short-term saving through voluntary. You can save voluntarily there, and your saving. So the savings of the Hustler Fund beneficiaries, and His Excellency the President guided during the anniversary that they're going to be invested in the government security, and then of course you will earn the interest depending on at that particular time what the T-bills, for example, this government security interest will be returning. That's what you earn. Now, at the moment, as we finalize on the integration, because the institution that is going to support us in saving this is Kenya National Entrepreneur Saving Trust, KNEST, and we are finalizing the integration, and then we move now from the banks which have been investing this for us. But even at the moment, this is how much the bank is investing. So we negotiated a rate of T-3, I mean T-bills -3. So at any given time, assuming today the T-bills or government bonds are going for 15% interest rates, so we will, the Hustler Fund, our savings, will accrue T-3, meaning now it will accrue 12%. That will be the return, 12%. Okay. So if you were to look at it, is even good returns compared to if you were to fix your money somewhere in the commercial account bank. You'll find that the returns you're going to get on this is even higher than what you get in the normal commercial banks. So, but once we finalize which we think we are closing out by next month, then those that have attained, like for example, 60 years and above, because we have about 1.8 million Kenyans who have hit that age, who are our beneficiaries on the Hustler Fund. If we are to compute, to aggregate their saving, will come close to about 400 million. Okay. So these ones, then they will come up with a mechanism on how at any given time then they can withdraw. And this money is being managed in accordance to retirement benefit, policy framework, because it's defined. When it comes to pension, you have to to be guided by that policy. So what I want to tell Zainabu is that that's work in progress. Once we manage to move, we finalize on the movement of the savings now from the commercial bank, where, as I said, that's where we have been, as we've been working out, and as we've been established the K-Nest, then it will go there. At any given time, you can again save, and you can decide whether to save on long term or on short term, and then of course you'll be guided on the protocols on how you can then be able to access it. Okay. Short term you can access, like I've said, anytime. All right. You need of it. I'm not so sure unless if it was a system downturn, which can be explained. But I think where we are today, every saver can be able to access long term. All right. On the loan limits, it's dependent on your grading. Probably, I forgot the name. Probably, what I wish he also told us what is his credit rating, because you'll find that probably his credit rating is in C's, C1, C2, so probably he needs to come to A. So he needs to come to, of course, the next after C1. So C3 is the C2, the lowest, C2, C1, and then you move to B. Once you move to B, you start experiencing on bridge. That is you start experiencing the limit enhancement. So maybe he's still on personal, and probably his scores are low. I wish he also told us, and I will just want to encourage, if you're asking a question, also tell us maybe your grading, and then we'll be able to see where then the problem is. All right. There's a question here, PS. There is Hustler Fund is not really helping at all to many Kenyans because of the small amounts they are giving. Example, 500 or 300 bob can start which business. Even fees cannot pay unless a way of trapping Kenyans. From Pastor Muremi, Eric, Embu, Kiambuthini town. Yeah, so... Yeah. Let's actually pick Amos's phone call. Amos? Amos again. Amos, hi, good evening. Thanks for watching.
Madam PS na kupanga simu ya tisa.
Amos? We have lost Amos, but we'll be getting him shortly. Yes, about this question about the amounts. Is it only the 500s? It's not 500. So let me show you. For example, the bridge. Yes. Bridge we launched about 2 months ago. And today we have beneficiaries who can access more than 100,000. So it's about growing your limit. I'm told Amos is back. Let's listen to his question. Amos, just a minute. Amos, what's your question to the PS?
Hello?
Yes, hello, Amos. Good evening.
Hello?
Amos, unanipata? Good evening.
Yes. Yeah. I'm Amos, and I'm asking. I've been borrowing 9,960. Okay. Grade yake muulize.
Grade yako? Grade yako?
Nakupa unaongea na mimi nikikuona.
Ni sawa.
I've been borrowing 960.
Punguza volume ya TV ndio nikusikie.
Hello.
Grade yako ni punguza volume ya TV, Amos.
I've been borrowing 960, okay?
Yes.
And then I don't know how 48 shillings are deducted every time I borrow.
You're deducted every time you borrow?
Nipunguze volume ya nini sasa?
Okay, Amos. All right, we'll be...
But I can get his question. Yeah. But first of all, before I forget, let me talk about the issue of the limits. Now, limits ni bidi yao. When you borrow, we have people who started borrowing the 500, the minimum. Today, they've grown their limit even up to more than 50,000. And we have those cases. All right. So you grow your limit.
Based on paying on time?
On paying on time, and how many times do you borrow? Because those parameters are also looking into the level of need. And you know, of course, if you are just testing, there are people also who came on the platform just to test, is this thing working or is it? Some people came and they found it was only 500 bob and they say we don't want this. But people who really have a need were borrowing, and you could see the frequency of borrowing showing that indeed they were in need.
Okay.
Most of the people who've been able to grow their limit, as I will be giving you for example, the status of the bridge loan.
Yes.
You'll be shocked how people with those smaller limits have been able to borrow more from the Hustler Fund platform.
Okay.
So those were the parameters. So now, for example, in the last 2 months of the bridge loan, we have one Wanyama. Of course, I will not reveal other details.
Okay.
And he's from Bungoma, from what I have seen. And his current limit is 32,890. His rating A1. And so far he has accessed more than 1 million. Precisely, is about 1 million. And 1 million. It's actually 1 million. So, no, sorry. So his personal limit is 32,890. He has accessed, his bridge loan limit is 98,670.
So they're success stories.
His limit has been tripled. He's an A1.
Oh, from, okay.
From 32,000.
All right.
His limit has been tripled. His bridge loan limit is 98,670. And he has borrowed, in the last 2 months, he has borrowed cumulatively up to 1,080,000.
Let's speak to George from Mombasa. He's been on the line for quite a minute. George, good evening. Very briefly, what is your question or comment to the PS tonight? Could you reduce the volume of your TV, George? Hello, George? Okay, let's get some
But
feedback.
Amos had a question where he's saying the money which he gets deducted. So every time you borrow, 5% is deducted, so you get less than 5%, and you are notified that you are now going to get this less, of which 70% goes to your long-term saving, 30% goes to a short-term saving. So if Amos wants to know where this money is, he just needs to dial once again *254#. Go select the Hustler Fund, goes to the saving, check balance. He'll be told his long-term savings is how much, and then his short-term saving is what. But quickly, as we wait for other callers, allow me to take you through where we are in numbers. Because to me, this bridge product has really proven to be a game changer, and it has got very interesting
okay, as you get that, let me get some questions here. Is there a likelihood of, and I think we can go first because time is out of us. Is there a likelihood of a limit review on Hustler Fund's bridge loan product soon? And if so, when? How frequent is it done? That's Jason.
So this is going to be automatic.
Okay.
We just apply the formula. So at any given time, you can get upgraded or downgraded.
Oh, okay.
So if you keep on, in our credit limit policy, which we are crystallizing, you find that, let's say we observe you. So we have this period that we can observe you for some time. For example, now Amos here with the 950, once we get to determine which score he has, let's say he's C3, he can borrow there for some time, we observe, and if we see that now he's picked up in terms of borrowing and paying on time, then he will be graded. So it's going to be automatic.
Okay.
When you requesting for your next loan, and then the formula is applied, we will be able. Okay. It will either downgrade you from A1 to A2, or it will upgrade you from C3 to C2, or even to B. But quickly, let me give you some of the good stories about this bridge.
George is back. Let's listen to him. George is back from Mombasa. George is back from Mombasa. Quickly, your question, and please, if you could reduce the volume of your TV. George, good evening. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, briefly, what's your question to the PS or comment tonight?
Mimi nilikuwa napongeza tu wanadada.
Aha.
Yes, nakusikia.
Naam.
Hello?
Naam, punguza volume ya TV.
Hello? Yes.
Sema George. Oh, okay, so we will be, but I think he was trying to congratulate you as well. You were talking about the success stories.
So I was saying so far, in the last 2 months of the bridge product, we've disbursed 1.6 billion as of today morning, and the repayment is 1 billion and 52 million. You know, you can imagine.
Yeah.
Daily collection rate, sometimes it hits even 100%. So meaning in terms of how much we disburse and how much gets repaid, you find we're really doing well. So this was just a demonstration that really the people that we have graduated have good borrowing behavior. Let me show you also something in terms of the where people are borrowing most. And the interesting things about this observation is that majority of people are now borrowing above 1,000 shilling, because those who are borrowing between 1,000 and 10,000 are about 70%. Those who are borrowing between 10,000 and 25,000 are about 19%. And then of course it goes like that. And these people, what are they borrowing for? Again, we've been able to work it out. And for example, people who are borrowing in the business now, the business side, you remember when you're onboarding, you're asked to, you know, to say whether you're borrowing for business or personal use. Yeah, and I didn't see what you selected. So, but now other categories, people have said, for example, animal keeping, they've said we've disbursed close to 8.4 million. Border, they have indicated what they're doing, the sectors. People who are in the border sector have borrowed in just the last 2 months close to 112 million. Creative jobs, we have 12.7 million. Farming, we have 289 million. Fishing, we have around 4.3 million. Food and drinks, people who are trading in that sector, they have accessed close to 69.9 million. Housing, 21.2 million. And in this housing, what it means, maybe you're a plumber, you know, those kind of things, you're doing those. Personal use and emergence, this is where now you find that category. Actually, about 40% of people who are borrowing for the personal use, which is good. If you have 60% of the population then borrowing for business kind of, you know, activity, then this is good return. Selling goods, for example, those who are in trading space have access close to 491 million. So this is what you're able to observe in terms of why people are borrowing. And the repayment is really good. In terms of repeat loans, we have 87% of the people who have the loans that have been disbursed so far are from people who have borrowed more than once. It means the level of need is there. They have a very high level of need, and they must be borrowing for something. So, you know, the figures cannot lie. And maybe the other thing that is that this is fairly distributed. We are able now to pull out numbers of the 207,000 beneficiaries so far who have successfully been onboarded on the bridge. We're able to distribute them in each and every county. So there is no corner of this country that is not being served even with the bridge. In other words, to say there's no corner of this country where you can say, there's no county where you can say we don't have good borrowers.
Okay.
So Kenyans are not bad people, they're good people. So we keep on introducing more products just to graduate them. So from bridge, what next is now to SME, a loan product, where now the business, people who have indicated that they're borrowing for business can now be further graduated to the SME loan. And that will be a space now, more so a space in the competitive environment, I mean in the private sector financing.
We are completely out of time, PS, and the questions are so many. Perhaps I will ask them to engage you on X, maybe? Or
they can engage me on X. They can, on our website, we can be able to share. They can
address
engage
their
on
concerns.
the ministry and even the PS at msme.go.ke. They can access our State Department website and also our ministry website, the Hustler Fund website. And again, we have an open door policy anytime. They can come in because we are there. If they have any question, a number of times I get questions directly. People ask me, and sometimes they say, you know, you're my friend. So finally, kitu niongeze limit. I've said, but you know now, even me personally, I'm not able to increase my own limit.
Your own limit. So do you have a limit? Do you borrow the Hustler?
Yes, of course. But how will I know that is working and it's progressing on well?
What's your grade?
My grade? My of course, where do you expect my grade to be?
You're on A1. My
grade is in A's.
Okay, all right.
Because I also borrow frequently. So I borrow because I have to monitor what I'm doing and see if there is any hitch. But I just
PS as we wind up, so that we close the conversation.
I want to say that the story of Hustler Fund is that of deepening financial inclusion. And from the experience we've had in the last 2 years on the personal loan, as well as also what is coming out on the bridge loan, this is a true testament that Kenyans outside there are in that great need. And I would just want to urge Kenyans that you need to take advantage of this opportunity that the government has created to help you grow your ability to borrow and to build up your alternative collateral in your credit rating. In some other economy, even if you have cash, you may not purchase any property if your credit rating is low. So take advantage of this opportunity and safeguard your credit rating. All the beneficiaries have been rated and just grow your rating. Absolutely. So that you keep on then so that we can unlock your access to credit, to affordable credit in the mainstream financing sector.
Absolutely. Yes, we look forward to having you once again. Hopefully in the near future. As we continue to debunk, of course, the conversation is bigger than the time we have. We've been speaking to the Honorable Susan Mangeni, Principal Secretary for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, MSMEs, right here on the Daily Report. Thank you so much, Madam PS.
You're welcome.
And I am George Maringa. Thank you for your tremendous feedback. Engage the PS on the socials and also the email she's given on the website for more clarity. And as always, stay safe and be kind to one another. I'll see you next time.